everybody, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're talking with Christine Ferraris, and we are going to discuss when medical bills are wrong, like how to fight back against overcharges. Guys, did you know that up to 80% of medical bills may contain mistakes? If you have ever looked at a hospital bill and thought, this doesn't look right, you're not alone. Today, we're answering some of the most common questions people have about medical billing errors. So, hello, Christine, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you, Lizette.
Okay, let's just jump right into it. So, how do I know if my medical bill has an error?
Well, I guess the most basic way to check is to look at it and see if what it says is what you received as far as services, right? Sometimes charges are duplicated. I've had clients tell me that there's sometimes there's a service and a period of time, like the doctor visit for an hour, when you maybe only saw the doctor for 5 or 10 minutes. And so, asking questions about this, I think, why am I getting a bill that says, that the visit was 1 hour or what have you? And just ask questions, whatever it is that you don't understand, it still might be right, but if you don't understand it, you have a right to an explanation. You can compare it to the explanation of benefits, is what the statement that we get from our insurance companies that says exactly what the bill, how they paid for it and what the service was that they paid for according to the code. Coding errors sometimes happen. Sometimes your insurance will reject the payment because the coding isn't correct. So it's worth checking. Is the basic takeaway from that, is that, look at bills to make sure that you're getting charged correctly by whoever the provider is.
Okay, that makes sense. So now I have a question. So, what rights do I have if I have been overcharged for something that happened?
So if you've been overcharged, you have a right to dispute it, right? Usually there is some sort of, but yeah, the essence of when you're going to dispute, it's okay to call and find out how you can submit a written dispute, because it's best to do it in writing, because sometimes things aren't remembered and you don't remember who you spoke with. So if there is an absolute, that there's an error and you want to dispute it, do it in writing. And then if you don't get anywhere with whoever it is that you're disputing it with, whether it be a hospital or provider, then there is usually a regulating insurance body here in the state. It's usually state by state that you can file a complaint with, and they can sometimes intervene and contact, whether it be an insurance company or a hospital or medical provider, and intervene in that way to assist you with a dispute that you have with your medical bill.
Okay, so that is basically the steps that I should take if something on my bill looks wrong. Am I correct?
Well, and then there are statutes that protect billing,
Okay.
overbilling, right, and deceptive billing types of practices. And so those types of laws, both federal and state, the insurance provide agencies will have information about that. And then obviously, Google can help you understand some of those laws that you can, I guess, refer to when you are doing a billing dispute. So basically, you need to take action and take it a little sooner rather than later. Don't wait a long time until it starts getting reported on your credit, for example. That's something that's actually a billing error.
Yeah, that was actually gonna be my next question regarding like can incorrect medical bills affect my credit? So yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, look at your bill, make sure it's itemized for the services that you have. And then, if you dispute it and then you still continue to get the same bill and it's not corrected, and then it goes ahead, they go ahead and report it or give it to a third party to collect, and it's against your credit. Yes, you should dispute it with the credit reporting agency that's actually reporting the disputed debt. And then you should also dispute it with whoever is reporting that debt, whether it be a third party. And again, in writing, and then keep track of your disputes and how you send them and so forth. And provide, when you're disputing with a credit reporting authority agency, then make sure you provide documentation that, showing, the dispute that you sent to the provider originally, and say that this has been a disputed debt and I've already disputed it with them. It is tedious and frustrating for people to do this, but it's really important because it can affect your credit. Now, there was a consumer protection statute that was passed that certain amount of credit or medical bills rather, and medical debt can't be recorded. There has been some talk about turning that over, from what I understand, the last I've heard about it, that so that the current administration might be taking that protection away. But I'm not clear on that. There's probably more information out there, and I think we might have even talked about it on our blog and so forth, relative to the status of that. I think it's still in place, but laws change. And as far as enforcing it, the current administration, I'm not sure if someone is misreporting, if the enforcement agencies that used to be enforcing that type of thing are still doing that. That's a question that's a little bit beyond the scope of today, but it's important to know that you need to take things sometimes into your own hands and make sure you're tracking it in writing, as well as, making calls and so forth and keeping track of that.
Yeah, so medical billing errors could cost you more than you actually owe, guys. So stay informed, ask questions, don't be afraid to dispute charges. And I will also link our blog for this month in this video below. So you can just click on it, and then if this video was helpful, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more consumer tips. I hope you have a fantastic day.